for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome everyone to episode 914 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as the Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals. So please have a seat, put your tray table up, put your seat up in the full upright position, settle down with a desired sin or beverage of your choice. And what can I tell you? Arizona winning in Seattle, I don't see it in the cards. Visual.
You had props.
So, I have props, and they're Seahawk cards. Did you see that? Seahawk card. Okay. Anyway, yes, they are. So we're off to a flying start to this episode. But let's meet the posse that's going to join us for this episode. Of course, there is Will Harrison. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Doing okay. I've actually got a pair of Seahawk cards myself. It was the set that they sent out to season ticket holders in 2011 because they weren't sure that they were going to have a season in the lockout.
Yeah. So they gave us cards.
So they're like, yeah, we'll spend about $5 on the season ticket holder gift this year. Play it safe.
I'm pretty sure I have those laying around somewhere too.
And then that voice is Dustin. Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good. How is Kona, our 12-Man Fan Jam Show mascot?
Oh, she's good. I think I don't know. She's good.
She's good. She's on a, who knows where she's at. Who cares?
Dustin doesn't really care.
Yeah, she's out there with Lindsay somewhere. She's probably watching her workout.
She probably is. Speaking of workout, it is Matt from merry old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm on vacation.
You're on vacation. Wow, you never go on vacation.
Well, see, the thing is, I've been jealous so much of every time that you go on vacation, which is, as we know, every other week.
Educator. I love it.
He's an educator, so therefore he's on break every other week. And I thought I'd give it a go. So I've got 5 days off. So I'm heading up north.
In a row?
Yes, in a row. And I'm heading up north to a little place in Yorkshire, in a log cabin in a remote forest away from every living human being. It's going to be amazing.
Fantastic.
I've seen movies about that.
It's going to be exciting. That is exciting. Matt may not be at for us in the next show. He may get stuck with Bigfoot or something, but or something.
This is the UK, not US. It's Loch Ness. It's Loch Ness.
The Loch Ness Monster. Yeah. Well, before we worry about next week's show, let's worry about this week's show. Here's the format for this episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We have 4 quarters and a halftime. Quarter one, of course, will catch us up on the news. We're also going to do take a crack at this phrase, something we haven't done on this show for a long time. From few seasons ago, we used to do this. So we're going to take a crack at a phrase at the end of this quarter. Of course, quarter two, we will have to, unfortunately, go through last week's game. The Seahawks lost the Packers. Halftime, of course, is the best. Halftime is the best Seahawk-themed trivia show on the air, and I refer to 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Of the world.
And I believe the winner last week.
Mm.
Yeah, who was the winner last week?
Dustin, 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't.
Going for the 4-peat.
Hell yeah.
Going for the 4-peat. Let's see.
Feeling a little bit like Michael Jordan this year.
You look just like him. You're almost as tall as he is.
Really close.
Yeah. In the second half, we are going to talk about the upcoming game between your Seahawks and the Cardinals. We'll have fashion report. We'll have weather. We'll have injury report. We'll have a sermon of Seahawk positivity. We'll put all that together, and we'll make our predictions, our prognostications, and game balls for that very game. We do want to remind you before we start the show, please subscribe to the YouTube Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join us on our Facebook 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. We do a great game day thread there. So join us that and join us for other fun. Email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at Seahawk Positivity. Usually it's news time, but I want to share something before we start. It's a true story. This is Sunday before the Packer game. I went out and got groceries, and that's not the exciting part. When your team wins the Super Bowl, you get everything you could possibly get that says Super Bowl champions on it. And so I have a license plate cover that has Seattle Seahawks on the top and Super Bowl champions on the bottom, Super Bowl 48 champions. And I've had that on my car, obviously, since they won the Super Bowl. And I was getting groceries and I put them in the trunk and I closed the trunk and the license plate holder shattered.
Whoa.
And this is all that's left.
Wow.
I don't know if you could get a good look at that. That's This is all the bottom is all that's left of that thing. But the good news is the Seattle Seahawks is still at the top, so I've got that for now. But I'm going to get another one. But yeah, this is what happens.
So you're saying it's time they win a second? Okay.
I'm saying it's time I need a new one. Yeah, but
Long past one a second.
Yeah.
So Matt, you had a similar incident.
There's something that was happening in threes, but it's happening around. So I bought this back in 2012 on my first visit when I came over, and unfortunately the other day and it was on Sunday. I put it in the sink in order to wash it up, and the handle just broke off.
We're gonna have another seance from the Reverend.
It's
I think.
A sign. It's a sign.
The Reverend's gonna have to do something. But before we do that, let's see what Will can tell us in the 12-man Fan Jam Show news report. Yes, the 12-man Fan Jam Show news report brought to you every week by our news hound Will. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, as you know, there have been a lot of spring football leagues that have been tried and failed over the last couple of years. You had the Alliance of American Football, which went bankrupt before its first season ended. Then we had the XFL, which caught COVID before its first season ended. So that is
right.
Currently scheduled to make a comeback, I think in 2023, I think it is. But it won't be alone. Apparently, according to Sports Business Journal, Fox Sports is the sole owner of a new United States Football League that is scheduled to kick off in April of next year. Now, obviously, since they're going by the USFL, question is how similar will it be to the old USFL back in the 80s? Not sure how similar it's going to be. Pretty sure Donald Trump won't own the New Jersey franchise.
Yeah, the Generals.
But, there have been attempts to relaunch the USFL previously, and there have been complications because of copyright issues, with the league name and the team. And there was actually a dispute in June as to who had the right to use the name USFL. But apparently Fox has sorted out the legal issues. They're going to televise the games, most of them on FS1. Daryl Johnston is former Dallas Cowboy, is going to be executive vice president of football operations. Mike Pereira is going to be head of officiating.
Nice.
You cannot make it up. So, but no word on where teams are going to be located, where games are going to be played, or if as much cocaine is going to be consumed as was consumed back in the original version of the USFL.
Oh, I love the old USFL. Steve Young started there, I believe. Jim Kelly did. Herschel Walker played in that league. That was a fun league. That was a good league.
It's fun to go back on YouTube and watch the highlights of some of those games.
The Boston Breakers, the Chicago Blitz,
Houston Gamblers.
The Houston Gamblers. Somebody was the Gunslingers too, which is pretty awesome. Those are good old times. A little before your time there, Dustin.
Yeah, I really don't remember that league at all. I think it's kind of cool though. They work things out like Marvel and Sony. So we get the USFL, Marvel gets Spider-Man. It's a wonderful thing.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Matt, would you watch a USFL?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I would. I like the XFL actually as well. I mean, the great thing about these sort of spring leagues is that it gives the NFL almost the opportunity to watch some new rules be played out in other leagues without actually in the NFL and then saying, actually, that's a really good rule. We're going to pick that rule.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
For the record, the NFL needs to adopt the XFL's kickoff rule so that we actually.
That truth. That'd be so much fun. I think the old USFL was pretty straight laced. I think the only thing that maybe, if I remember right, and I did watch a lot of it, I think they were able to go for two. And of course, back then you couldn't go for two. So I think that was something that they did. But I think the USFL is pretty much the NFL rules right now. I think. I don't think there was anything different there.
There are a few minor tweaks, but the biggest difference was the 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion would be interesting. So awesome, Will. We'll have to stay tuned for another football league coming your way, which can't have too many of those. But thanks for the story, Will.
Anytime, Moses.
And now we are going to change things up here at the end of the first, and we're going to do bring back an old thing that we used to do on the show all the time, and it's called Take a Crack at This Phrase. Yes, take a crack at this phrase. Where we take a phrase and we're going to try to come up with some punchlines to this phrase if we can, or say something clever. And we encourage you to join us as well. If you find our phrase interesting, you want to give a crack at that phrase, make your comments at the bottom of the YouTube video, or make your comments on 12 Man Fan Jam Show. And let's see what you can do as well. But the phrase we're attacking today is Kyler Murray is so short.
How short
and
is
he
he?
is, yes, and he is so short. And I will start, and then I know Matt and Will have one to share as well. So I will start. Kyler Murray is so short. His first car was a Malibu Barbie sports car. That's short. Will, Kyler Murray is so short.
He represents the lollipop guild, the lollipop guild, the lollipop guild. In the name of the lollipop guild, he wished to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
Nice, nice. Hey, Matt,
Yes.
Kyler Murray is so short.
Kyler Murray is so short, he looks up to he speaks to Dustin.
Oh,
It was only a matter of time before
you knew
somebody
that was
brought
coming.
I know. I had nothing here because it's a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black. So
So you're just enjoying all the short jokes, which is great.
yeah. Enjoying.
Kyler Murray is so short, he looks up to Russell Wilson. Literally. Will. Will, you got any?
I got nothing more.
You got nothing. Matt, you got any?
I got one.
Kyler Murray is so short.
Kyler Murray is so short, he's never been on any of the rides at Disney.
Damn it. You got to be that high. He's so short, he models for trophies in the off season.
Nice.
He's so short, you can see his feet on his driver's license. And
Kyler
finally,
Murray- I got one. Kyler
Yeah.
Murray is so short, he has to stand on a stool to put his own gum shield in.
I got one more. He's so short, Dustin can post him up in basketball. So,
Problem.
Matt, you got one?
No, I'm all out.
All right. That's it. The point is, Kyler Murray is short, but daggone, he's good.
Yes.
He's so good, but he's so short.
Got
But,
wheels.
yeah, speaking of short, let's end this short first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
We have so much more show ahead of you. We are going to have halftime trivia. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff about the Cardinals. But before we do that, we have to look back next quarter and talk about that Packers loss. Unfortunately, we'll do that when we come right back.
I'm Mosette, and this is the 12 Man Fan Gym Show. Dad, I want you to meet my new boyfriend, Sam.
Is he one of us?
A Seahawk fan? Yeah, Dad, of course.
Yes, sir. I'm a great Seahawks fan. Cam Newton's my favorite player. Okay, get out. That's it. Get
Dad,
out.
no.
Get out. No.
No, not everything's about football,
Get
Dad.
out. No, man. No.
What are you doing?
No.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Welcome to quarter two of episode 914 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Cards for sorrow, cards for pain. And unfortunately, we're going to be talking about some pain here in a minute as we take the second quarter and we recap the Seahawks shutout loss, first in since 2011, I believe. Shutout 17-0 in Green Bay. Matt, your thoughts on this game?
It was a good game if you like defense for at least the first three quarters, but then it sort of fell apart at the end. And I think there's only so much you can ask your defense to do, and there's only at some point the offense has to step up and actually make plays and make some scores happen. But it just wasn't happening for us at all.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm having watched the videos of the Pete Carroll talking after the game and the players talking after the game, and Pete didn't seem to have any answers to any of the questions that were being asked, and that worries me. A coach should be able to look at the camera.
Theme.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point where you should expect the coach to be able to look at something and at least give you some answers. So when a reporter asks, so what do you think? What's next for the offense? What's gonna turn this around? And I think his exact words were, I don't know at this stage. I haven't looked, and I'm thinking, you don't know at this stage. You have no idea at this stage what's wrong. That worries me. That concerns me a little bit. I think you know, as I said, I think defense well. Adams with his first INT, brilliant, fantastic for him. But I do think that you can't rely on our defense to hold Arizona like that. And I think our offense has got to step up and actually make some plays. And you know, we might get into this as well separately in a bit, but I also think there's got to be a level of maturity shown by some of our players at all times. And I don't care whether we're behind, I don't care how close the game is, and I don't care. In fact, I don't care about any of those variables. You are paid a lot of money to be a professional athlete, and with that comes a professional level of standard. I don't expect to see shoes thrown games. I don't expect to see Metcalf acting like a temper tantrum toddler. All of that needs to be cleared up. But again, I'm afraid it comes back to coaching. And I'm still worried that I'm afraid that our time with our current head coach is fast coming towards a crunch point, in my opinion.
It could very well. That's a lot to digest there, Dustin. What are your thoughts?
I mean, well, really, to be honest, I had been cleaning most of the day because Lindsay was coming home from out of town. And so I had been day drinking while cleaning, and thank God for that, because there's a lot of that game I don't remember.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Let me fill you in. It was not fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember a general feeling of this sucks. And I remember DK having that moment at the end where you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? And I remember Russell Wilson was not looking like he could grip the ball properly, because there's a lot of passes that I remember that were just off.
I think so too.
I don't think it was rust. I highly doubt it was rust. He only missed a couple of weeks. I think it had to do with his ability to grip the ball.
Yeah,
in all
I do
honesty.
too.
So yeah, he might be able to heal really well, but not so well as far as rehabbing and getting the strength back in his finger to be able to do his job properly. And I think that's part of the reason why we lost that game. I almost kind of question if Gino was in there, if we might have been better off in that situation.
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Well, put this, we couldn't have been any worse off.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we could have had negative points.
Yeah.
So there's that.
A lot of interesting questions. Will, what are your thoughts? You got some questions after that? I'm sure you do.
Well, you know, Moses, a couple months ago when our defense was just playing horribly week in and week out, I remember posting on Facebook and getting into an argument with an old friend of mine saying that we have too much talent on this defense to play as badly as we were.
Yeah.
And I thought that we had the potential to be a solid, you know, not a Legion of Boom-esque defense, but a solid defense. And the last several weeks, I think we've seen that. I think trading out Trey Flowers for Trey Brown was a massive upgrade at the cornerback position.
Yes.
Yeah, dude played really well.
I think Sunday's game was Jamal Adams' best game as a Seahawk, not just because of the interception, but he was playing well at all levels of defense, whether in coverage or rushing the passer. I was impressed that our front four got a decent pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They only got the one sack, but they got plenty of hurries and plenty of quarterback hits. And if you
were worried about going in too, because he gets the ball so fast.
Right.
Yeah.
If you had told me going into this game that we would have held Green Bay to 3 points going into the fourth quarter, I would have said there's no way we're losing that game.
Right.
And just the offensive woes were just inexplicable. What I want to know is, you've got a quarterback. Yes, it's Russell Wilson, Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. I get that. But he's coming back from having his finger basically explode about a month quicker than estimates. You're going up against a team with a very good pass defense and a fair to middle and run defense. You're running the ball successfully. Why do you throw the ball 49 times and run it 11 times?
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
Our one red zone drive, we are driving the ball very well. We get down to about, I think it's the 11-yard line, and throw 3 straight passes.
Yeah.
Yep.
With one interception. We're running the ball well, pounded up the middle a couple times. I don't get the play calling. It seems like every week Pete Carroll is saying, oh, yeah, this happened. We're not really sure how. We didn't want this to happen. In this case, it was somebody asked him about how come D. Eskridge only got 4 snaps, and he was like, yeah, it kind of got away from us. That's not what we planned for. You're the coach.
You're the coach.
Get him in there. And not just
Agreed.
because it was my prognostication for the week. Get him in there because maybe he can help you.
Yeah, right.
So, Russell Wilson's going to be better this week. He's going to be better the following weeks. We're going to get some going, but just again, the coaching decisions continue to baffle me. I don't get it.
And we've said for so long on this show, we've said the offense was playing well enough to win. This offense is playing not well enough to win. This time, without question, the defense played well enough to win. And I don't, blame any of this on the defense. They were tired in the fourth quarter. They fought that really good offense of the Packers, held them to 3 points for three and a half quarters. I definitely don't blame them for this at all. But it's just, I would love to see. Now, we talked about if we can play longer than 2 quarters. Now, if we can, both sides can play longer than 2 quarters, maybe we'll get something.
But that's consistency, Dennis, because we are consistent, sadly. We either play half a game, so we either score in 2 quarters and don't score in the other 2, or our defense turns up and our offense doesn't, or our offense turns up and our defense doesn't.
Yeah.
So we are consistent. We're just consistently awful on one half of the game almost.
Yes.
I understand where that's coming from. And I do understand DK's, for example, he said, I'm just tired of losing. I get that. Then you got to make catches. Mate, you got to make them catches. And balls have to be catchable, Wilson. You have to be able to make them catchable. So there's so many things that are going wrong all at once. But I just don't think that Pete Carroll has any of the answers. He doesn't seem to have any when he's.
I don't know if they need to do a self-assessment. Like if they're constantly at a point where they don't have the answers, like I don't know why. Like it's something as simple as I don't know why that he wasn't in there more. That wasn't the game plan. That's a self-assessment type situation. And even when I was still coaching football with little kids, we actually had so we had the normal coaches, and then we had a parent or a former. He was a former coach, actually. It wasn't the parent, but he used to coach a long time ago on the same team. He would come in just for the games. He wasn't there for practices, but he'd just come in for the games. And all he would do is he kept track. Okay, who's on the team, what position do they play, and all he would do is during the game. He would keep track of, okay, they want to play everybody this amount of plays. That was his job.
Yeah.
He just had a tick and okay. And then like we'd get into halftime, he'd be like, okay, this player played this much, this player played this much, this guy played this much. This is where you're at with that. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, I forget what team it was, but they had a dude that would make the coach not run on the field. They hired a guy to make the coach not run on the field, to pull him back.
Right.
So I mean, maybe do some self-assessment and see where you're lacking and put that responsibility on somebody else. Create a new position, put that responsibility on somebody else.
But change it up as well. So I mean, the other things that I noticed as well was that we don't have a lot of energy when they're approaching the line. So, I didn't think they'd have to be in hurry up all the time, but do that for a few plays. Stop the huddle, just get in there and make stuff happen. But none of that, all of that energy in this team for me is a really low level. They're all heads down. They're all, and I get it. It's cold. It was 20 odd degrees, so I get it. It's cold, but it's heads down mentality. So there's no energy. There's no energy.
Bad body language.
Yes.
Yeah, which is something Pete Carroll preaches to not have. So
yes.
That kind of speaks to maybe this team is not really, maybe he's losing the team a little bit. The losing's having a negative impact on the team. I mean, it's pretty obvious they don't have the same energy. I mean, it's Dennis, you were there not too long ago. The energy, like in the stadium and like in the area around it, is just not what it was either. And I think a lot of it losing kind of has an impact on your emotions, and I think it's having that emotion on the field too. But the thing is, they have the ability to turn that around.
Right.
They have the ability to fix that, and if they don't, I mean, it's on them. Basically, they got to make it happen.
They do. They absolutely do. And I think we need to turn this around. So let's kind of put this on the table. I think we've asked some good questions. We've had some good discussion, and let's turn this around with see how we did on our posse prediction challenge in the 2-minute warning. Yes, the 2-minute warning. Let's see how we did on our posse prediction challenge for this week. Of course, 17-0 shutout. But look, Dustin, Chris, and Andy all said that the Packers would score 17 points. They all got 3 points for that.
Woohoo!
And then I gave Mark the score because it was kind of a blowout, even though nobody really was close on the score. There were no prognostications that worked. There were no game balls.
So, hold on, I'm throwing a massive flag at the second. How can you give? Just skip back. Go back.
What?
Just go back. How can you be giving the score?
All 34 to 13?
Yeah, it's just not right.
Because I said so. That's why.
You know that's how that goes.
Because a 21-point loss is like a 17-point victory. I don't care.
Holy crap.
He put the scores up on a dartboard.
Basically, I mean, you try to get some out of that crap that was a ball game. All right. Over and under was under. Little Mo, Carrie, Jimmy, Dustin, Will, Chris, Matt, and Moses all got a point. Check this out. The overall scores: Dustin with 4, Chris with 4, Matt with 4, Will, Moses, Little Mo, Mark, Carrie, Jimmy all with 1. But the overall scores: Chris takes the lead at 14, Jimmy at 13, Mark at 12, Dustin and Matt at 11.
Wow.
Me and Little Mo
Wow.
at 10. Carrie, Jose,
Wow.
Will, Mike, and Andy. We remember we were down by like 13 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long way down.
Well, guess what the score is now?
We're
It's
down by 18 points.
It's a 4-point
Ooh.
game.
Nice. We're coming
And
for
that's
you.
because 3 of us did 17 points on the Packers score.
There.
Nice
Yep.
job.
Nice.
And so we got a ball game here. So even though the game was not much fun to talk about, we had something positive to end it with.
Nice.
And let's positively go into halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
We got so much more show coming up. All kinds of Cardinal fun coming up. Matt's giggling. We don't know why, but
That's
first.
just
This chair's on vibrate.
But before we leave, it is halftime. 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia
Of the world. Sorry.
and that sorry, it's coming up. We think next. I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody
We'll
stop
watch all
this
the-
thing.
I was watching the dance.
It broke us.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, welcome everyone to another fine edition of 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
The trivia that challenges the posse and the viewers of this show to all things Seahawk trivia based. Our contestants are the posse themselves: Matt, Dustin, Will Harrison, and here are the rules. Each of you will get one question. You're worth 1 point each, and then a special final question that's worth 2 points, and the winner will be crowned 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia champion of episode 914. And if there's a tie, those tie people will go to a super secret overtime question. And you can ask the children once per round. Mosette and Little Mo, my darling Seahawk children, answered these questions. If you want to know what they said before you answer, you can do that either at the first or second question, but not in the final question or the overtime. Are you ready? All right.
Let's do this.
Dustin, you were the champion. So you get to pick 1, 2, or 3. And the topic is obviously the Cardinals. And
The Arizona Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
All right, just
maybe.
verifying.
I'm going to say that.
All right.
Cardinals.
I'll go 3.
Will?
1.
And that means Maddie gets 2. All right. Will, your question is, of course, there's a question each round. It's not exactly a football question, and Will's got that one. Will, which of the following states has a city actually named Cardinal? Actually named Cardinal. Is it Illinois, Ohio, or Virginia? Which one of these states actually has a city called Cardinal? Illinois, Ohio, Virginia. Dance!
I don't know. Illinois.
I don't know. Illinois. Virginia. Virginia. Yeah.
I was
Oh, by
going to
the
go
way,
Ohio. It sounded better to me.
Yeah, you know, Little Mo and
I thought
Mosette said
Ohio.
Little Mo and Mosette both said Illinois too. I should have said that before, but I didn't. All right.
We'll forgive you this once.
Just this one time. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
Question 2 is this, Matt.
Mm.
When the Seahawks and Cardinals tied at 6-6 in 2016 in that epic late night game that seemed to last forever.
Time. Yep.
How
Oh,
many
I can't
combined
remember that now.
How many combined field goals were missed in that game? 2, 3, or 4? How many combined field goals were missed
That's
in that
both-
game?
So that's both the
Both kickers.
Yeah, that's what combined means.
Well, you got to check with Dennis because you know what he's like.
Yeah.
He's an educator. English is not his first language.
Right. He's got every other week off. So
Yeah, difficult. I think
3
this. I
days. Just 3
kind
days.
of remember this game. I remember it going on for a very, very long time. I'll go 4 just because it's the biggest number.
Remember Hauschka missing a chip shot at the end
Chip
of
shot,
overtime that would have won.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right.
He says 4. Lomo said 3. Mosette said 4. You said 4. No, sorry, it was 3.
That's 3.
Wow.
Wow.
It was 3, only 3,
It
but
felt
2
like-
of them were in overtime.
It felt like more.
It felt like about 8.
It felt
Yeah.
like 20, but yeah, it was only 3. Yeah, no thanks. Dustin,
Yeah.
the first time the Seahawks beat the Arizona Cardinals in Seattle was 1998.
Okay.
How many interceptions did Jake the Snake Plummer, throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3? Jake Plummer. How many interceptions?
Another bit
Let's
of trivia.
see.
The Seahawks got great at that game.
I was gonna say I'm sure Will knows.
What'd you say, Will?
Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk got married at that game.
Was that the game?
Oh,
Dennis Erickson was the coach, yeah.
Yep.
His
And
last
I
year.
was 17. I was a junior in high school. None of this helps, but I'm gonna say 2.
After all that, he says 2.
Just remembering what I remember about that year.
Mosette said 1. Little Mo said 3. You said 2. That was 3. Yeah.
I'd actually forgotten that Jake Plummer existed.
Yeah.
So is he.
gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
Gosh.
so far, none of you existed.
We're not doing
because,
very well.
It's so far it's 0-0-0. So
Well, we know our stuff,
you know
obviously.
your stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try this at home, kids. We are professional.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Dustin, 4, 5, or 6.
I'll go 4 this time.
All right, Matt, 5 or 6.
Get my wrong answer out of the way early.
I'll
Sure.
go. I'll
Yeah.
go 6.
And Will is 5. All right, here we go. Round 2. Question 4, Dustin.
Yes.
When the Seahawks played the Cardinals in Seattle back in 2014,
Okay, I was there.
how many interceptions did Drew Stanton throw in that game? Drew Stanton, how many did he throw? 1, 2, or 3? Good old Drew Stanton.
Wow.
Was that the almost like 50-point blowout, or is that
Nope.
No?
It was like 19-6 or some ridiculous score
Yeah.
like that.
You must watch these games sober, Will, because I'm highly impressed with your ability to recall.
There it is.
New experience for Dustin.
If
I
I was
remember
there, I was
everything but what I
tailgating.
need to remember.
If I was there, I was tailgating, and I was not sober. I mean, this worked really great last time, so I'll say 2.
2.
2 worked so well last time. How could you possibly not mess up?
Yeah.
So Mosette said 1, and Little Mo said 2, and you said, "How could this possibly go wrong?" You said 2 as well.
Mhm.
Nah, it's 1. He just threw
Oh,
1.
weird.
Yeah. Question 5, Will. When the Seahawks played the Cardinals in 2020, how many touchdown passes did Kyler Murray throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3. Kyler Murray, 1, 2, or 3.
It's a fairly relatively high scoring game, if I remember. What do the kids say?
That said 2, Little Mo said 3. Nobody said 1.
I got to go at least 2. I'll do 2.
You gotta go at least 2. 2 works so well
It's
for
been a
Dustin.
great number so far.
It
I'm
works
going to
so
pull
well.
Dustin and go 2.
You go pull it down. Go pull it down. Hold it right off.
Pull him right off.
Holy cow! He said 2. He got it right.
Hey!
Will is on the board.
2 finally worked.
Woo!
Congratulations, sir.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah, that shit.
Matt,
And the reason I said "oh no" is because I think I've got a non-football question.
you have a non-football question.
Yeah.
Your question is this.
Yes.
How many states in the United States call the cardinal their state bird? 5, 6, or 7.
Oh,
How many
shit.
states call the cardinal their state bird? 5, 6, or 7?
Well, the only
These
thing
states need to quit copying off each
I was
other.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
they
there's
gotta
so many-
they gotta copyright the state bird.
there
Come
are
on now.
literally thousands of different species in this world.
Yeah.
And you like just can't
And that
pick
doesn't even count the government drones that look like birds.
any.
Or the Amazon drones. That's probably our state bird at this point.
Well, I'll hope that the education system over there is doing its thing. So I shall ask the kids.
That's the kids. Mosette said 6. Little Mo said 7.
I'll say 5.
What could possibly go wrong?
Probably nothing.
That because it's 7. Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia. 7 states.
No defense, that's not really fair. I don't even know our
And-
state bird.
And none of them are Arizona.
None of them are Arizona.
Theirs is the Roadrunner, I think.
Meep, meep.
Yeah, everyone's no one has a point but Will, but that's okay because you know why? Because now it's time for the final question. Yeah. Okay.
Play some Skinner.
Free bird.
Do you know any Brittany?
I actually do know some Brittany, but we won't go there right now. And I know some scared.
Oh, goodness.
Final question.
Don't be putting on that skirt.
No. Yeah.
Brittany.
We played Brittany on here one time when Carrie was on here. We played Brittany. We played Hit Me Baby one more time.
Oh, she must have won trivia.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Rude.
final question. High, low, and the order will go Matt, Dustin, and then
Again.
Will. First, closest without going over gets 2 points. If everybody's over here, it gets closest to the number, wins, and becomes 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia champion of the world.
Of the world, yeah.
Of the world. All right.
Yeah,
Final
we
question.
heard.
Are we ready, Matt?
No.
Here's your final. Your final.
He's really
question
proud
has-
of how he sets tables, so this should
Your
be
final question has to go with the 58-0 win the Seahawks had back in 2012. I wonder how many total yards of offense the Seahawks had in that game. 58-0. What are the total yards of offense the Seahawks had in that game?
Can I just point out that I have been told off now on this show twice for 2 different reasons of doing 2 different things. One is I give an answer to which Dennis hates. I give an answer which Dennis hates. So this is quite a difficult, mashup for here to come up with. So if I go too long, we'll just have to, get away with it. Now last time I said 362, didn't I? And I was low. So let's go higher. So I'll go 444 yards.
444. 444, Dustin.
I'm gonna go higher, but not make it quite so easy. Maybe I'll say 496.
496. 444, 496, Will.
451.
451. 444,
500's a lot.
496, 451.
Did I set a good table?
Gentlemen, the amount of offensive yards that the Seahawks had in a 58-0 game in 2012 against the Arizona Cardinals at home, where we didn't think they'd ever stop scoring, is 493.
Dustin.
Oh,
Pinky in the brain.
Oh, Dustin.
Dustin was up by 3.
Wow.
But tough. Well, congratulations. You are 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia champion.
congrats, Will.
Way to
you,
go,
Moses.
Will. Dustin. Another amazing, wonderful, heart-stopping, stomach-turning, pinky in the brain
Stomach-turning.
version of 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Pinky in the brain. Take us out. Well, congratulations again, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
If it wasn't for you, we would not have Pinky in the brain on this show, but we do.
I kind of pulled a Will there, and then Will won. So that's a.
There you go.
The torch has been passed.
We'll be right back with more information after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
It's the third quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, the Cardinal or the 5-inch Finch version of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. This is where we start talking about that game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals coming up at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time, 1:25 out in Seattle. Matt.
9:25.
9:25 p.m. if you're in England. Seahawks against the Cardinals. And to get you ready for that game, we always start with our injury report. So we will turn it over to our friend Dr. Dustin with all the injury news we need to know. Dr. Dustin, tell us news.
All right, here we go, guys. We're going to start out with the Arizona Cardinals. They have several players that are going to be out. Of note, especially, is DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a hamstring injury he's dealing with. He hasn't played for a few weeks now. I think this is the third week in a row he hasn't played.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Yep. Justin Pugh's not going to play. He's got a calf injury. Linebacker Tanner Viejo has a knee injury, not playing. And running back Jonathan Ward is out, concussion.
Wow.
Hope that guy's head feels better. That's scary stuff, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Questionable players for them. There's several. Safety James Wiggins has a knee injury. Defensive tackle Corey Peters has a shoulder injury. Quarterback Kyler Murray.
Game time decision, I hear.
Game time decision. He's got that ankle injury. He
Yeah.
might miss another game. Colt McCoy hurt his boob, so he's their backup quarterback. So this is a kind of an interesting thing we're looking at here. I mean, would you rather face Colt McCoy and his bad boob or Kyler Murray, who's hobbling around on a bad ankle? I think either way, that looks good for our pass rush, to be honest.
I hope so.
Yeah. Their center, Max Garcia, has an Achilles injury. And this is another interesting one right here, questionable. No, well, it would have been interesting. I'm sorry, I forgot, but the coach said he will play. Budda Baker has a heel injury. So he might not be the same fast Budda Baker. He might not be able to be the same playmaker. And when you have an injury like that, I assume it's a heel bruise. You step wrong, it hurts, and you can't walk for a week. So he might not finish the game. Just throwing that out there. Heel bruises suck.
Yeah.
Now on to your Seattle Seahawks. We have a lot of players that are questionable. Nobody that's out per se, except for we have some IR movements. I'll get to that last. But we have several questionable players. Jamal Adams was a late addition to the injury report. He pulled his groin in practice, apparently, or had some.
Pulled it right off. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Or had some kind of groin strain in practice.
Hey, bro.
Hello.
Hey, bro.
Hey, I thought it was a different name, Moses.
No, I kept calling her Millie, but it's April.
Millie. Yeah. All right. So Jamarco Jones, he's has a back injury. He's a game time decision. Defensive end Kerry Hyder had a calf injury, but Carroll said he's going to play. Cody Barton's has a quadricep injury. Not sure what's going on exactly with it, but yeah. And then we got DJ Reed, who has a groin/knee injury, which is not a good thing. Yeah, when I learn more about that, we get into that later if you guys want medical 101 about something.
Okay.
And then we have also Matt's mug and Dennis's license plate cover.
Yeah.
Going to the IR.
Yeah.
And over in the IR, they're going to unfortunately meet Chris Carson.
No.
Because he's going on the IR. He has to have neck surgery. In
Very
all
scary.
honesty, I say thank you to Chris Carson. You have been a fun player to watch.
Yeah. Scary.
It's NFL's a rough career.
Quality of life.
Yeah. He has been a great Seahawk. He put it out there. He plays hard. Runs like Marshawn Light. I mean, he puts it out there. But he's probably played his last game as a Seahawk and
Probably.
potentially his last game in the NFL. So
Yeah,
thank
quite
you, Chris
possibly.
Carson.
Yeah, amen. I agree, Dustin. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much for that very, very good report. And now we look through the weather and fashion for this game by turning to a man in merry old England. It's Matt with the 12-Man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. So we're back in the Pacific Northwest, having been thoroughly beaten in Green Bay. Moses, I'm not proud to admit it, but I am definitely feeling a little bit butthurt because of Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not suggesting anything, but I'm sure I'm not the first member of the LGBTQ plus community to say that, but I digress.
Well, I'm sure.
Looking at the weather for the game, apparently Pacific Northwest recently has been a sort of short season of never-ending rain and misery for some. So in one way, it seems fitting that the Seahawks are back at home. Checking the weather for this game, it doesn't look too bad. We have temperatures in the high 40s. Actually, I can't say Biden. I should say. What's your vice president's name? What's her name?
Harris.
Because she was in charge of your whole country for 58 minutes today.
Heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
We survived.
He was
We
having a
survived.
colonoscopy, apparently. I mean,
We survived.
the way your country works, this makes me laugh. So we have temperatures in the high 40s with a light northeasterly wind, no rain in the forecast. So offense can make use of those conditions, I'm sure, to, well, maybe score some points. I don't know.
It's an idea that's just crazy enough to work.
Yeah.
Radical notions.
Yeah.
So what to wear for this game? Well, we are playing our short step friend from Arizona. Maybe we're not. Maybe he's not going to play at all. Who have surprised even themselves this season with just how good games they're having. Actually, they're doing rather well. To make Kyler Murray feel at home, why not dress up as one of the 7 dwarfs from Disney's Sleeping Beauty, complete with mining pick and a bag of gems. For extra realness, try to go with 6 other friends, all dressed the same, and sing hi ho as loudly as you can every time Murray gets sacked in this game. Or if you are feeling green with envy at the winning record for Arizona, why not go as a little Irish leprechaun with an additional bag of gold? For extra realness, you can always shout out, "Oh no, they're after me, Lucky Charms," every time Murray is out of the box. Whatever you decide to wear, just remember to for all of that, and you are good to go. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, it's back over to you.
Fantastic, Matt. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. A Reverend.
Yes! It is I, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
Not too bad.
Doing well.
Bad.
Reverend.
Doing well. We made fun of somebody's height, and I saw earlier that Will showed his pussy on the screen. So we've had an interesting evening so far, but we will move on from that. That's so good to see. Let's get some church admin here, shall we, gentlemen? Friends, so glad to be once again here as we return home, basking in the warm glow that is Seahawk Positivity, reading the book of the 2021 NFL season, chapter 10, verses 3-12. For they did then arrive home, but there was no time to rest. For soon from the southwest, the birds from the desert did arrive. They were 5-inch finches, and they wished to bring us down, but we did not fall. We arose loud and proud. We arose in the one true power of Seahawk Positivity, and those red birds did fall to the ground, broken and defeated. Yes, this is the word, my brother. Oh, we have so much more to do, and there's a power that flows within us all. You feel the power of Seahawk Positivity. If you feel it, let's hear it. Amen, nice and loud.
Amen.
And
Yes, you got to believe it. If you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make head coach Cliff right into Kingsbury's. We're kicking right into Kingsbury's, we will. Let's hear an amen, nice and loud.
Amen.
and
And if you believe in the power to give our offense ability to score more than an Arizona Desert Coyote at a Westminster Kennel Club dog show, let's hear an amen, nice and loud.
I don't know what that means, but I'm in.
They like the bad boys.
I
just
love
like
a dog
us.
show. I love a
They
dog
like
show.
those bitches like the bad boys, just like in real life. But I progress, gentlemen. That is the power. We are loud and proud. Oh, those silly little annoying redbirds. They're gonna wish they never flew north for the winter in Arizona. That's right. Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals makes no sense anyway. I mean, it's like It's like naming a team the Indiana State Surfers. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense, you know? Those don't exist either. Indiana Surfers, Arizona Cardinals. Go look for them if you want to, but you'll never find them. This has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity, saying, go forth, my brethren, go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Large and praise Cortez. Praise Walter Jones, praise Kenny Eastley. And as always, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Oh,
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show at 4:25 p.m. on the East Coast, 1:25 Seattle time, 9:25 over in Merry Old England. Your Seattle Seahawks on Sunday take on the Arizona Cardinals. And it is now time for us to look at all the Posse Prediction Challenge scores that we have for this game with the Arizona Cardinals. We'll start first with Team 12.
Ugly ass bird.
There you go. That's a Cardinal, folks.
With mange.
Love it. Little Mo.
After a 3-day bender.
That's how I feel when I wake up on a Monday morning.
Right.
That mouth too. Hey, give me some birdseed. Right. Little Mo says 24-17 Seahawks. Metcalf gets 100 yards receiving, game ball to Metcalf. Jose 23-20 Hawks. Prognostication, we score. Jake, just kidding. Just kidding.
That's good.
We score. Just kidding. We get 2 sacks, game ball to Lockett. Sorry, I just totally blew that up. Let's try again. Jose 23-20 Hawks. Prognostication, we score. Just kidding. Wow. We get 2 sacks from the defense, game ball to Lockett. I'm so sorry. Mike, this has been the season of records no one wants. Well, Fig Newton's team can beat them. Maybe we can too. Russ needs his first win back at home, and with the 12s, it's the best place. Cards win 23-20. Game ball Lockett. Prognostication, we don't get shut out against, again, that's not prognostication. Bonus, 2 straight passing touchdowns for the Hawks. So 2 passing touchdowns for the Hawks. Mark, Ty Turner. Sunday's game will determine the rest of the season's fate. Winning, we stay alive. Losing, the season's pretty much done. I'm trying to remember last time the team was even 3 games under 500. And 2011, he says, maybe. Let me check. Yep. Let Mark know. Mark will know. 3 times that season, but never 4 games under. You have to go back to 2009 for that. Murray is a game time decision. Hopkins is out. The Hawks are up against the wall. They rebound from their first shutout since 2011 and win 23-13. Game ball to Wagner. Collins rushes for 85 yards. Well, did you say something?
Nothing important.
You said, do we have to go back to 2009?
No, let's not do that. Carrie, I absolutely believe that my beloved Hawks can right this ship. They can win the game, and they will get the dub. Seahawks win 23-20. I'm sticking with Alex Collins as my guy. Arizona pass rushes in the bottom half of the league. So feed him to keep those drives alive. He gets 50 yards in the first half. My game ball this week's going to Tyler Lockett. Jimmy, I predict I will be grumpy as F. But we are due finally to win a big game, and hopefully Russ will play well so I can stop hearing people complain about him. Hawks win 23-20. Game ball to DK without any tantrums, maybe? Question mark.
I also like that could be a prognostication at this point.
Lockett with a TD. And then Andy says, who am I kidding? We could throw 3 touchdown passes and people would still complain it wasn't 4. All right. Our team. Team Posse. We start with Andy. Andy says Seattle 27, Cards 17, Metcalf game ball, offense, defense scores a touchdown. Chris, okay, let's forget about last week and move on to the next game. Home versus the Cards. It's time to wake up. Seahawks win 19-13 with the defense getting 2 takeaways. My prediction, my game ball to Alex Collins. This is the way. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Dennis, I'm sticking with Trey Brown this week. I really love the way the kid plays, but I'm going to include him in my prognostication this time. He will get his first career interception this Sunday.
Nice.
Picking off either Murray or McCoy. I don't know which. I don't care. As long as he gets,
or maybe the 3rd string, whoever that is.
Could be.
Yeah.
As long as he gets one, I'm good. My game ball is going to be going to go to DK Metcalf. I think he's going to bounce back from a pretty awful performance last week, pretty much across the board. And as for the score, Seahawks 26, Cardinals 21.
Oh, goodness.
Thank you very much, April. And well,
It's a deeper voice than you'd think.
she does. Dustin, what you got?
Well, I don't know if I'm feeling optimistic or just hoping for something awesome to happen. But I want to say the Seahawks are going to win 31-17. I feel like the offense just has to show up and make things happen. We hold the Cardinals to 17. If Kyler's out there anyways, that's a good thing too. They showed up pretty well. I think the reason why we're going to have more points and hold them to 17 is because we're going to have extra opportunities. And I think those extra opportunities are going to come from Diggs. I think Diggs is going to get 2 interceptions. And I think that he's also, Matt feels the same way.
Have you logged into my machine again and been looking at what I've been writing?
No, I mean, I sometimes I try to avoid some of the stuff on there.
Be very afraid.
Yeah. The thing is, Jamal Adams has a groin injury. I think Diggs has to be out there. I know Reed has an injury, and so Diggs is going to have to be out there playing smart, playing right, and making things happen in the secondary in order for us to win this game, essentially. So I think he's going to get 2 interceptions, and that's why the Cardinals are not going to have as many points, and we're going to have more than we anticipated.
Is he your game ball then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Matt.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you guess what mine is?
31-17, 2 interceptions.
Wow, it's close. So Dustin has stolen all of my thunder bar a little bit. So we'll go with this. I think defense are going to have to play again at better than average level on Sunday in order to give our offense a chance. But I'm still going to go with a win. I think Seahawks 24, Arizona 17. My game ball has gone to Diggs.
Good call. Good call.
No, really?
Really?
Wow.
Because he's the only one out there really with any opportunity, I think, to make serious impact in this game for us. And prognostication, 2 INTs for Seahawks. I didn't give them specifically Diggs, but I'm going to still go with 2 INTs for Seahawks. I'll keep it as wide as that. But yeah, so basically what Dustin said.
Excellent.
I like where your head's at, Matt.
Yeah.
That's really quality stuff there.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
April, you're too young to hear this.
It was just this one time I was in Green Bay.
My
I won't go there. Sorry.
Let's don't say you did, please, God.
Do something.
They're playing the Cardinals.
Look to rebound. Bounce back from a loss that was about as ugly and as brutal as front row to a Yoko Ono concert. So that game last week was so painful. Seahawk fans were asking for a refund. They didn't even have tickets to the game. But we move onward and upwards. And home to face the Arizona Cardinals, who are quickly becoming the NFL darlings this season. Cardinals are led on offense usually by cute little adorable Kyler Murray, who you can just pop into your pocket like a mini Kit Kat bar or something, but he may not play. He may be little in stature, but he is big in one place. Stop it, Matt. I mean, we're talking about quarterbacking, okay? Little man's got a career QBR of 94.6, and I'm sure Dustin can use his math to tell us that's very good.
No.
Right, Matt? Yeah, okay. He may not even play, so it won't matter. Defensively, the Cardinals are led by Marcus Golden and Chandler Jones, who combined for 15 sacks already. And as Matt could tell you, that's a lot of sacks. He's had sack experience. We won't go there. Hey,
It's
so
sacrilegious over there.
my favorite part of this team is the fact that their coach is Cliff Kingsbury of the San Antonio Kingsburys. Cliff Kingsbury, what a name. He should be asking Muffy in his yacht, not coaching a football team. Wait, Cliff, I've got some sad news for you and Muffy, buddy. And the sad news is this. This Sunday, the 5-inch pitchers are going to get shot down by a daisy red rifle known as the Seattle Seahawks. Watch my game ball, Gerald Everett, catch a touchdown pass. Watch the Seahawks win on a last-second game-winning field goal by Jason Myers. That's my prognostication. Oh, Arizona. You're about to get your little birdie heads and hearts broken because the Seahawks are going to win by a score of Seahawks 24, Cardinals 21. Book it.
It is so booked.
It is so booked.
So let it be booked. So let it be done.
And speaking of it being booked, so is this show, sadly. We had to put an end to this wonderful 12-man Fan Jam show. We hope you had a lot of fun listening and watching, and we had a lot of fun as well. I hope you learned a little something along the way. We learned a lot that we just can't go over right now. You'll just have to go back and watch.
And a lot of it didn't make it on the show, so.
Some of it didn't even make the show. Yeah, the best part
That's
is
why we don't do this live, folks.
the best parts
Yeah.
weren't even on the show.
Yeah.
On behalf of my partner in crime, Matt from Merry Old England, Will Harrison, Statsman Mark, wherever he is, Dustin is the Beaver, Little Mo, Mozette, Jose, Mike Pascal, Mark, Ty Turner, Carrie, Jimmy, Andy, Northern Hawk, Chris Balding, Roger Goodell, Dan Deerdorf. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Church of Seahawk Positivity saying until next time, as always, go Hawks.
Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
It's just not in the cards this week. Cheers. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.